Okay, let's start this video with the question, what is the strongest entity in all of Doors? Now, some of you might answer this question with the hardest entities to counter in the game, such as the Queen Grumble or A90. Some of you may look at it from a lore perspective and say that Seek is the strongest entity, as they can assimilate anything they touch to become more of them. Well, would you believe me if I said that the strongest entity indoors isn't even technically in the game yet? Yeah, I know it sounds pretty crazy, but based on the evidence I was able to gather, it seems true. So, in this video, I'll be discussing and explaining probably the strongest entity in all of Doors, that being the red light, and I'll theorize what this entity could mean for the future of the game. So, with all of that being said, let's begin. Alright, so not surprisingly, some of you probably don't know who the red light is, and I don't blame you. This character wasn't formally introduced in the game, or even given an actual name, so you'd have to likely actively be searching for hints about their existence in order to know about them. Now, just for some basic level information about this entity, the red light is the third and final light character, being of the same species as Guiding Light and Curious Light. Now, this light character was never shown up front to the player like the other characters, but there is a boatload of evidence that supports their existence, such as the message in the crucifix sigil as well as the Room 60 painting, just to name a few. Now, it's pretty hard to tell what the red light's motives are, given how we have never met them. However, they appear to be against the player, whereas Guiding Light and Curious Light are rooting for us. We know this as 1, they seem to be the force stopping us from using the crucifix on boss entities, given how the crucifix turns red, which is this entity's signature color, and 2, they seem directly responsible for the modifiers, given how both modifiers and this character share the same spiral symbol. So, we have a mysterious evil force which appears to be preventing the player from reaching their goals. But how do we know they are the strongest out of every entity in the game? Even stronger than Curious and even Guiding Light? Well, our best help is going to be the modifiers. As I stated, the red light seems responsible for the modifiers given how they both share the same symbol. Now, if you've used modifiers at all, you'd know that their main purpose is to change the functions of entities. This includes some normal entities such as Rush or Ambush, as well as major ones such as Figure and Seek. However, one of the key things about the modifiers that's really useful for this video is that they can be used to disable or inhibit Guiding Light. Now, if we know that modifiers are controlled by the red light and modifiers can disable Guiding Light, that means that the red light is stronger than Guiding Light, arguably one of the most powerful entities in the whole game. Furthermore, this isn't the only evidence of the red light being stronger than Guiding Light. You see, modifiers will actually influence the Room 60 painting. If you have no modifiers enabled, then the painting will only show Curious Light's symbol, that being a 4-pointed star. And if you have any decent amount of modifiers enabled, the symbols of Curious, Guiding, and the red light will be visible. However, if you have a 150% or higher modifiers enabled, then Guiding Light's symbol will disappear altogether, with just Curious Light and the red light symbol remaining. And this symbolizes that at this point the red light is just too powerful for Guiding Light to even be present, hence why their symbol is gone from the painting. So, given how the red light can control Guiding Light as well as almost every other entity through the use of modifiers, even the extremely powerful ones such as Seek, I think it is pretty safe to say that they are the strongest character in the whole game. However, what does this mean for the future of Doors? Well, for one, it's obvious we'll have to formally meet them at some point in the future, likely by dying in a specific way. Perhaps dying whilst using modifiers will trigger this entity to take the place of Guiding Light, given how the red light and modifiers seem to be deeply intertwined. I also believe they will likely be the main antagonist of Doors, given their immense power as well as how they seem to be against the player. But yeah, that is essentially the whole video. It is obvious that there will be some pretty big plans for this entity in the future, and now that I've explained the full scope of their power, you can probably see just how intense a fight against them would be. Anyways, with all of that being said, let me know in the comments what you thought of this, and with all of that being said, thank you all for watching and I hope you enjoy.